Hello, I'm Gina Taylor, Vice President for Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Suncoast. On today's show, we will be discussing an organization that is not only near and dear to me, but to this community as well. Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Suncoast has been serving children and families for 46 years. Our panel for the show is the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Suncoast, Joy Mailer, along with one of our big brothers, John Marino, and a big sister, Julie Alford. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
How is everyone doing?
Great.
Good. Joy, I'm going to start with you. And I think that our show is appropriately called Start Something. And Big Brothers and the Big Sisters of the Suncoast have been starting something for 46 years and 31 years with you at the helm.
Thank you.
And under your leadership. Can you share with us a little bit about Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Suncoast for our audience, what we do and who we are?
Gina, thank you for having us. We are a mentoring program. We work with youth ages 6 to 18, and we match them one-to-one with an adult, a mentor, a volunteer. It's either in the school-based program where they may meet each other, and especially our Reading Bigs program where we work with youth, young youth, 5, 6-year-olds, teaching them about reading and the value of reading, all the way till they graduate from high school at age 18 in the school. We also have a community-based program where our volunteers meet with the youth, maybe in the community, doing a wide variety of activities. We started as a program in mentoring, and 100 years later, that's still what we're doing. The value of this is immense for our children. In the area of site-based, our youth increase their academic performance and in their behavior, their attendance. And in the community-based, they have a friend. Either program, it's a friendship that's developed over a long period of time. What we achieve for our youth is amazing. Connecting our youth with a network that volunteer has. Maybe it's a network in deciding the career or a wide variety of activities. Maybe it's visiting colleges. But I think first and foremost, mentoring, one-to-one mentoring, it's fun, it's easy, and we know it works.
Thank you. And also, as you know, there's such a misnomer about people saying, oh, I just don't have enough time. Speak to that a little bit. I think people feel that it takes so much of their time.
Yeah, I think, Gina, and that's a good point. What we find is that our volunteers may be seasonal, so that they are here maybe 8 months a year, and they still can just spend that 1 hour once a week in the schools. And some of our programs are twice a month. So that if a volunteer maybe is traveling or has a lot of other obligations, they still can connect with the child and do so in just a consistent way, and that's what we ask.
And Big Brothers Big Sisters has been serving children and families since 1968. And I find the history so fascinating. And one piece of the history many people are not aware of is it actually started in Venice as Big Brothers.
It did, yeah, as Big Brothers of Venice. And nationally, that was the same as well. When we started in 1904, we had businessmen that were basically trying to figure out what are these young boys that seem to be kind of roaming the streets, what is their story? And what they found is that these young men did not have fathers in the home. So they connected themselves in one-to-one friendships with these boys, just trying to see if they could help them. In Venice in 1968, we had a gentleman, Hal Trimble, who actually had relocated from Atlanta. And he had started the Big Brothers program in Atlanta just as a businessman there and understanding the value of connecting with youth. And when he came to the Venice area, we didn't have a program there either, and Hal started the program in Venice. It was a few years later that we began the Big Brothers Big Sisters, added the big sister part to it. Oftentimes when we look at at families and young people, we think boys don't have a father in the home, therefore it's illogical that they would need a big brother. What we found over the years, not just in our area or our program, but across the nation, that young girls are impacted by that single parent issue as well. So in 1976, we began the big sister part of Big Brothers Big Sisters, kind of in line with what the national organization had done as well at that time.
That's so very interesting. Thank you. Julie, thank you so much for your service as a big sister. We so appreciate that and know what a wonderful role model you are to your little sister. Can you tell us how you became involved? How did you first get involved with the organization?
Well, there's a couple that I met through my church that had a school-based program going on at Moody Elementary. And they asked me if I'd be interested. And I thought, well, I'll come check it out, just to see what it's all about. Well, when I went to check it out, I wanted all the kids. So I ended up joining, it's called a GALS program, and it's girls without mothers in their life. And so I ended up getting a little girl, I think it was in 2008 when I first started. And from there I've had several other little girls, and it's just such a rewarding experience to know that, somebody looks forward to seeing you every time when you go there.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I know that you've been matched with your current little sister for 4 years.
Yes, I have.
Tell us about that experience and how that's been.
Well, she has been, ever since I've known her, she's very, very quiet and wouldn't open up. I've tried everything to get her to open up. And it's a level of trust, that they have to know that they could trust you and that they're not going to be abandoned. And it wasn't until this last year that she's finally got this level of trust with me, and she's opened up to me, and we're like best friends now. It's really a very rewarding experience. It's just, to know that, at first you think, oh, am I really making a difference here? Because they're just so quiet, and, that you don't know that if they really enjoy you coming, but they do. They just have a hard time expressing it.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure.
And you're right, we hear a lot of times, oh, am I really making a difference? But you really do. And sometimes you may not hear that for a little bit, but
it does.
As you experience.
Yeah, it sure does.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Thanks for being here, and thank you so much for being a big brother to your little brother. Can you tell us how you got started?
Well, a representative from Big Brothers Big Sisters stopped by our work on one of our all hands meetings, and kind of threw the net out and was looking for volunteers. And I was compelled to be a part of the organization, so I looked into it. And at first, of course, like a lot of people, they feel like, I felt like, do I have enough time to spend to really make a difference? And so I gave some thought, and I thought I need to do this. And so I was matched with Jamal through the in-school program, 1 hour a week. And I also, much the same, wound up going there quite often every week. And I found myself really looking forward to the opportunity. We'd meet usually on the playground, and we would go ahead and when I first met Jamal, actually, he had a broken arm. And so, I remember seeing him. He looked very shy, and he felt like, who is this guy? Why is he here to see me? And so I was able to, ask him some questions about, how'd you break your arm, and just kind of broke the ice that way. And it took a little while, much the same, to have them gain your trust and really understand. He was in 3rd grade at the time, so to understand, why he's here. And once we started meeting weekly, I could tell every week he would open up a little bit more, and we were able to lay down a foundation of, I'm here to, give you whatever support and encouragement. And that's really how it starts out, is just kind of gaining their trust, and then, just kind of going from there,
And now fast forward 8 years later.
8 years later.
You've been with Jamal for 8 years. That's just wonderful. Tell us some of the things that your experience and how that's been.
With Jamal, like I said, it started out slow because he was, trying to figure out, why I was, a part of his life. But once he understood that, we started, at first it was just kind of get to know one another and build that trust. But then it was, what are his needs, his real needs, which was learning and educational. So I kind of explained to him that, there's things that he needs to improve on as far as schooling and things like that, which he knew. He was in specials in class. And so kind of pinpointed some of the things, the challenges that we needed to work on. And over the 8 years, I've seen improvement. He's come to understand how important it is to set goals in his life each day, each week, each year, and try to work towards those goals. And 8 years, it goes by really quick. And it's something that you don't realize, what an impact you're having at the beginning. But over the course of the years, you realize, wow, we've come a long way. And there's been a lot of improvement. And when he notices that, that's probably the most rewarding.
And how fortunate he is to have you in his life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joy, you are so passionate about this organization, as we all know, and you really walk the talk. And you have been a longtime Big Sister for many, many years to many young women. Share with us, I know you have a lot of stories, but share with us one of your, your stories that you'd like to let everyone know about.
Okay, I may have two.
Well, okay.
Well, just recently I was matched with this wonderful 8th grader, and she, in the course of kind of just getting to know her a little bit and beginning to develop a trust, a friendship at school. And we had a fun outing, actually, and we do the Site-Based Plus, which is, I see her at school as well as outside. We did the 5K Color Vibe Run, which was lots of fun. And that was a great way to really get to know each other covered in paint. So it was fun. But I think out of that fun relationship that we have developed, one of the things that I think I bring to her was she wasn't doing very well in a history class. And so I began to talk about what can we do for extra credit that would help us at this point, and feeling very much in it with her. And so they were studying the Civil War. We did a Civil War diorama where we really did a lot of research on the computer and developed a greater knowledge and appreciation for the battle at Gettysburg. And I learned a lot more than I think I really ever knew about that. But just the amount of pride and sense of accomplishment she had in coming back to say that she had gotten a great grade on this and that it helped her grade. And I think that the fact that we were able to do this together and the fact that she saw if I give a little extra, I get a whole lot back out of it. So we're having fun. And I go to school once a week and spend time with her. Working on the project, we spent a few more hours together than just 1 hour once a week. So developing a relationship is fun to do, as well as I know my husband's a big brother, and we went to the high school symphony. All of our children are graduated high school and beyond college, and it gave us kind of a reconnection back to the school system and young people, which has been fun. I think poignantly, my next previous little sister graduated last June. And that was really exciting to walk through that process with her. But I will tell you, she said something to me in the year previous. We had we've done college tours together to kind of get her into thinking about college and beyond that high school experience. And I think out of that, we went to Santa Fe to tour that campus, and it was a great day and a lot of fun and talking with a lot of the guidance and academic advisors there at the college. And when we left to drive back from Gainesville, she said something to me that I think is the essence of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And that is, she said, as she leaned back in her chair, her side in the car, she said, you know, Joy, one day my grandchildren will be able to say that their grandma went to college. And I thought, that's what we're about. We're changing lives for generations moving forward. Her parents did not graduate from high school or college. So she really is proud of the fact that she is paving that way for her next, for generations moving forward. So lots of wonderful opportunities that I have, whether it's Moat Marine Laboratory, learning to bake cookies with honey, just a lot of activities that we as volunteers have the opportunity to get involved with that we might not think about on a day-to-day basis. So I enjoy being a big sister. Part of the reason I began as a big sister years ago is that I really wanted to know what your experiences are as a volunteer firsthand. So maybe there are areas that we can improve on, and certainly when and besides which, selfishly, my children are all graduated, and it's nice to be able to recapture that time.
Thank you. I love those stories, and I'm really proud of you to only give us 2 because I know you have so many.
Well, you know, one of the common factors, Gina, I think that with the kids that I've seen, and I heard John say it, is that these kids don't have somebody at home pushing them to do good in school. If they need help, they don't have anybody to turn to, you know. So that's another reason I'm glad that, you know, I'm in their life to show them that they could do it. You know, they need to build the confidence, and we help them, I think, build a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and they have the capability. They have the ability. It's the connectivity. It's the connection to our network. Maybe there's somebody I know that they can be connected to. It's the opportunity to have a college tour, and a wide variety of activities that we take as volunteers, take for granted as everyone's experience, but being able to provide that for them is that leg up then that they get.
It sure is. Yeah.
You really are their advocate.
Right.
You really are. So John and Julie, and I know this is a lot of times a difficult question for our volunteers because they're so modest, but you all really have changed the lives of your little sister and your little brother. Tell us about that. I mean, what impact have you had on their life? And you have had an impact, so you know that you have. Like you said, it may have started out small. So, but share with us, because I think that's difficult, and we have talked about that a lot of volunteers don't like to, I haven't done anything. Yeah. Well, yes, they have. So
yeah, I do look at it as, you know, I'm in it for them. You know, it's all about them. But I have noticed with the girl that I have now, she's going to be 15 next month, she has gotten so much more confident. She's the one that wouldn't open up to me. She was so quiet. She talks more now. I'm like, whoa, where did all this come from? But, you know, just instilling in them that there's somebody there that you can trust. Even if I'm the only person in your life that you can trust, you know, these are things that you can do and gain confidence, and I push her to do things. You know, she's done a lot of simple things, you know, like go ask for an extra glass of water. She always had me do it. And I finally said, no, you're going to do this. You could do it on your... And she's really blossoming into, you know, a girl that's coming out of her shell and being able to talk around people. And so that really makes me feel good that, you know, and I find, my husband says, she's a mini-me. I find her saying things that I say a lot, you know. Yeah. But it is very rewarding and fulfilling to see these things happen, you know, because that's all she needed, was somebody to show that, you know, she had it in her. She just had to have somebody push her a little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. With Jamal, you could tell, you know, he wanted to learn and he wanted to do well, and he just needed somebody to come alongside him and give him that confidence and say, you know, you can do it. And he struggled, he did. But you could tell every time I met with him. It wasn't, you know, something that you had to bring him back to focus on. He was willing, as long as he knows that somebody's willing to take the time. You know, a lot of these kids, that's all they're looking for, is somebody to show interest and so, you know, give them that boost. And with Jamal, like I said, it wasn't easy, but he never gave up because early on he understood the importance and the time, and my time, and he understood that I was taking time out of my day, and they do realize that, and they really do appreciate that, and yeah, absolutely. They just need that little nudge, and consistency is critical. I must say.
It is.
One thing I always try to do is, you know, if I was going to be somewhere, I was on time. If I told them I was going to meet with them, I was on time, and you know, I always kept that connection if there was anything that came up, because they need that. A lot of these kids need that consistency, which helps build their, you know, self-esteem and their self-worth.
Yeah, one of mine's little girl's family, they would promise her things all the time. Oh, I'm going to take you here. I'm going to do this for you, and they never do it. Right. You know, so we do show them that that can be done. You know.
Yes.
So now, if we flip this and how you have influenced them, I know they've changed you as well. So tell us a little bit about that, and I'd love to hear from all of you, because you all have had that experience, and you know, you mentioned it, Julie, how rewarding it is. But they have changed your lives as well.
Oh yeah.
I can speak to that. During the time that I was being matched with Jamal, my wife and I were, you know, trying to start a family ourselves, and so I didn't have kids at the time. So I went ahead and said, well, I have the time to do this, and so I met with them, and I wound up actually spending time at school, but then also found time after school or during different times, and worked with the family on that. And you know, absolutely, it was critical for me to understand that, look, I have time to do this, and I was able to invest time to spend with Jamal. And for me, it was just very rewarding, knowing that I'm making a difference in this young boy's life.
And don't you think too that you come into it, you know, mentoring a student or one of our youth, but you leave developing a friendship that will last a lifetime?
Absolutely, and he's 17 now, soon to be 18, and you know, over all the years, it's been a wonderful experience, and I know that Jamal appreciates that. As a matter of fact, we were talking earlier where they will use things that you've taught them on yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know, and what I enjoy a lot of times is he'll call me and check on me and ask how I'm doing. You know, nice, and you know, that's fantastic. You know, to know that, you know, it's not only in it for me, but he also understands that it's a relational thing.
That's great. That's so true.
One more story. I just I think about the impact on me. I taught my former little sister how to drive, and at first that seemed like it would just be an easy thing to do, and I think I probably forgot that for my children, oftentimes I sent them off for driving lessons. So it really was my first opportunity in teaching somebody how to drive. And through that, a lot of trust. I had to have a lot of trust in her, even though we were in a parking lot learning as we were first learning. But I had to have a lot of trust in the fact that she would safely engineer, you know, that she was really able to drive responsively, and then getting out on the road where you don't have a brake on this side of the car. Or so I learned through that process. For me, it was a sense of trust of her as well. She wanted to do well. Through this, just watching her grow through her teenage years, that when we got together, she wanted to celebrate those things that she had achieved, and that she was very proud of. And she trusted me, and ultimately, I really had to have trust in her. She, by the way, passed, and it was great, which was another celebration, celebrating success. Our vision, every child achieves success, and she did. And for me, I really had a sense of accomplishment and pride in her.
I have so enjoyed this. I hope you all as well.
Yeah,
It's
it has
just
been
been
fun.
great. And I hope you as the audience have enjoyed learning more about Big Brothers Big Sisters. And Joy, do you want to let them know how they can, the phone numbers they can contact us?
Absolutely. We have an office in Manatee and Sarasota and actually Venice as well. Our Manatee office number is 941-746-7000. We're right here on 6th Avenue West. And we have an office in Sarasota. And that number is again 941-331-4376. And so definitely call us, contact us. It's fun, it's easy, and it works.
I want to thank our guest for sharing with you today their stories and for the love and care they have for their littles. As you can see, without them, the lives of their littles would not be the same. And a special thanks to METV for their help in producing our show. We so appreciate all their support. If you would like to learn more about Big Brothers Big Sisters or to become a Big, please call the numbers on your screen or visit our website. And have a great day.